All right, so I am going to walk you through all of the lessons for September week 1, starting with kindergarten. The focus for kindergarten is four voices and vocal exploration. And I have printed out my lesson plan here, just so I'm not flipping through screens, because I do actually want to show you guys the slide deck. So remember that this lesson plan is free for you to go ahead and make a copy of. Now, really quickly, I always get a lot of edit request. You cannot edit this actual document, right? Because if you edit this, then you edit it for everybody. So when you do get this, what you need to do is just go to File and make a copy, and that will give you a copy of your own lesson plan. Okay, so again, the lesson plan is free for you to make a copy of, edit it, add things, remove things, make it your own. The slide decks, if you need this additional resource, it is available for you to purchase. Um, and some people may feel like, look, I just need a lesson plan. I just need something to get my brain going, and then I'm able to take it from there. Other people, may need the slide deck. Maybe you don't feel you're, as creative in order to put together a slide deck, or you don't have enough time, or you just want somebody to do all the work for you. Or whatever category you may have fallen into, this is also available for you to purchase, but the lesson plan is free for you. All right. So let me go ahead and walk you through the activities for kindergarten. Now, the first thing we have is the hello song. I do hello song for kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. And I do the fill in song as well. So the hello song is hello, hello, how are you today? Hello, hello, how are you today? There's Lisa, hey, how are you today? There's Jacob, hey, how are you today? And you just go through your different students before going back to the beginning. And then the fill-in song, show me how you're feeling. One, two, three. Show me how you're feeling. Let me see. Now with this one, two, three, or one, two, three, whatever movement you want them to use in order to show you how they are feeling. Right after you've done that, you move them into the movement activity. And the movement activity is a body percussion. Then they go into vocal exploration. There are 3 slides of this. They'll use their voice to get to the kingdom, because we are talking about Queen, Queen Caroline. So you just teach this chant: Queen, Queen Caroline washed her hair in turpentine. Turpentine made it shine. Queen, Queen Caroline. And remember, the focus for this week is 4 voices. So I have created this story for you, and you could just read to them this story. The story is pretty simple, so I do suggest you to memorize the story. And just so you're not reading it word for word, just kind of memorize the story, act it out for them. The different characters in the story use different types of voices. All right. And then right after this, we will actually go through the different voices. Now, these slides are editable. So, for instance, some people, instead of calling voice, they use shouting voice. So, you're free to edit this and using whatever terminology best fits you and your class. There's also a slide here where you could go through each of the voices, have them echo you. This is my singing voice. This is my talking voice, etc., etc. Over here, they are going to create their own 4 voices composition. So you would just drag these numbers to the voice that you want to use. So for this one, you do your shouting voice or calling voice first, then your talking voice, then your whisper voice, then your singing voice. So it would be something like Queen, Queen Caroline washed her hair in turpentine. Turpentine made it shine. Queen, Queen Caroline, or whatever. And you could stay on this slide for all of eternity until your kinders get tired of it. Um, but so that's just adding in some composition and then having them utilize all their four voices. Right after that, they do another play along, and then Ruby sings the blues is a story time for Kinder. Ruby sings the blues is a story where she's always using her shouting voice, her calling voice, until she runs into this group that shows her how to use her singing voice. So just a great way to incorporate the different voices. And then you have your goodbye song. So that is the lesson for kindergarten, September week 1. Okay, so let's go through first grade week 1. Again, you have access to the lesson plan, so just go ahead and make a copy of for yourself. So, first grade week 1, the focus for first grade is beat versus rhythm. And they're also going to review some things from our kindergarten. So we have the hello song again, we have the fill in song. They're going to start with some vocal exploration. This is the same one that you would have seen in kindergarten. And then they have the chant, Queen, Queen Caroline is the song focus for week 1 for first grade as well. But this time, since first grade is going to be talking about beat versus rhythm, we do have a beat chart here. So you can have them practice clapping, padding, stomping, the steady beat. I tend to keep rhythm in the hands for my students. So ideally, you should keep the beats in the lap or in their feet, so they can go Queen, Queen Caroline washed her hair in turpentine. Turpentine made it shine. Queen, Queen Caroline. All right, so that's the beat. Then they now have the rhythm charts. So Queen, Queen Caroline washed her hair in turpentine. Turpentine made it shine. Queen, Queen Caroline. So you may need to have them echo the beat and echo the rhythm. Depending on the level of your class, you could use the word rhythm, you could use the word, can you clap the way the words go? That's usually what I prefer in the beginning of the school year, but it's really up to you and the level of your students. So now we split them into groups of 2, and we have one group perform the steady beat and one group perform the rhythm or the way the words go. And this is editable. So if you don't like the way the words go, if you want to put rhythm, you could put rhythm. If you want to change this totally, maybe you have group names and you want to say the Bumblebee team does the steady beats, the Apple team does the rhythms, whatever. Okay, you could put that there as well. You could drag in pictures, whatever it is that you want to do. Again, if you do get these slides, they are yours to use. Um, Now, if your class, like I said, this is the beginning of the school year, so splitting groups up into 2 and having one group do steady beat, one group do the rhythm may be a little challenging for your students. If that is the case, then you could do the steady beat, they clap the way the words go, and then you just switch. All right. So that's just another way to do this slide. Now we have a rhythm play along. You could click on our friend here and he'll take you straight to the video. Now these videos are not mine. If a video is mine, then I would have already put it in the slide deck. If the video is not mine, I would just link you to it. But once you do access this, you are free to just go and, insert the video yourself since you're using it for your personal use. Also down here, I have a playlist. This is going to be a growing playlist. Anytime, I find an activity, remember, I'm trying to save you time so you're not doing all the searching. So anytime I find an activity that fits within one of my playlists, I'll just add it in here. So throughout the year, these playlists, there may be just one or two videos in the playlist now, but over the year, the playlist is going to grow. All right. So that is the next activity. Again, I printed out the lesson plan here just so I'm not flipping tabs. So that's the vocal exploration. We've gone through Queen Caroline. We've done the play along. Now, right after play along is march and freeze. So if you have any type of unpitched percussion instrument, a djembe works well. My djembe's over there, but any instrument at all. And then you can play a rhythm and you can play the steady beat. Now, if you are playing the steady beat on your djembe or whatever instrument you happen to be using, then the students are marching. If you start playing some type of rhythm, then they're going to freeze, okay? And then they start marching again when they hear that steady beat. So just being able to see if they can differentiate between a beat that remains steady and the movement of the rhythm, okay? So after that, we have some slides here for review. Now, in kindergarten, they would have learned long and short. So this is just reviewing rhythms from kindergarten. You can have them say this out: long, long, short, 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 short. You can have them play it. However it is you want to go through this to just review long and short rhythms, you can do. And then after this, we have okay, so I am missing a slide. So I'm going to add a slide here for you because after they do the rhythm review, they have long and short composition. So let me just bring that up for you. Should have it here. Sorry, I should have had this up already. All right. So you will have access to this. You will print this out. And this is the long and short composition. So I don't have a slide for it, but it is a part of the lesson plan. So what I encourage you to do is to laminate this so that you're not reprinting. So you laminate this and then you add the Velcro dots. So this is even great for a center, and they could just create their own long and short composition, and they'll just take it off, continue to just create new rhythms and practice the long and short rhythms like that. Okay, but like I said, you have access to this. There's not a slide for it. I probably felt like you didn't need a slide, but you have access to this printable in the lesson plan. So right after you go through their composition, and then they have beat buddies. Kids, the students, they love beat buddies. You could either have them bring in their stuffed animal, or maybe you have some stuffed animals in your class. And so I have left this editable for you so you can add whichever song you want to use. Try to find songs though with a nice steady beat, because the whole point of the beat buddy is for them to, bounce and move the stuffed animal to the beats, right? So you can add any song here and just have them choose whichever animal song, they want to do the beat buddy activity too. Now, the next thing is beats around us. So, you're going to start to talk about steady beats and what items here have a steady beat. So, this actually has audio. Not sure if you hear that. Um, when you click on this, there's audio, and then you could ask them, does that have a steady beat? Is that beat steady? Yes or no? And they'll be able to respond that way. That is the last activity before our goodbye song. Again, you can use your own goodbye song, or there's a playlist here. And as always, there's a blank slide in case there's anything else that you want to do. So that is our first grade week one for September. All right, moving on to grade two. The focus for grade two for this month are Thai notes. So again, they do the hello song, they do the fill in song, and then right after that, they review notes that they have learned in first grade. So the quarter note, eighth note pair, quarter rest. This is also editable. So you can put whatever, so maybe you want to do ta instead of quarter notes, TT or tadi, whatever you use, you can edit this. All right, then right after that, we have a couple slides where they can practice performing some of these rhythms. Now, this is a rhythm play along that uses the quarter note, eighth note pair, quarter rest. And I also have down here a playlist of other videos that use the same notation, just in case you want to switch this out for something else. Um, so, right after that, the song is Heidi Rune. And so you'll teach this song. Let's all go walking, Heidi Room. And on the lesson plan, I do have um, I do have a link to the song in case you don't know it and you need to learn it. Okay, so and this is an activity that you can easily turn into a movement activity. You could change the lyrics instead of let's all go walking, you could do let's all go skipping, let's all go jumping, let's all go flying, whatever it is that you want to do. Even have the students choose the movement that they should do next. And then you are going to show them, oops, sorry. You're going to show them the sheet music. And all right, so you're going to show them the sheet music and just point them towards the tie so that you can, begin to talk a little bit more about that. Mr. Henry has a video on YouTube that is great for explaining Thai notes. I do have the video linked here. Again, it's not my video, so I'm not putting it in the slide. But once you do get these slides for your personal use, I do encourage you to search for the video and insert it. That's why I left, this space for you to do just that. And then these are a couple slides that will just a way to visually remind them that this symbol is a tie. And then so we do some music math. So we will just say, quarter note plus quarter note, 1 plus 1 equals 2. You have them, put in the answer. There are 3 slides of this. And now, right after we have talked about Thai, we're going to do a little movement activity. So you will teach them Sasha. And again, in the lesson plan, I have linked to movements of it. So you can just use that. I should actually link it down here as well for you. So I will do that. And then we are reviewing So Mi La from first grade. Okay, so those are those slides, and then there's a couple slides here for you to practice these So Mi La melodies. So right after they have remembered their So Mi La, then you can play this bingo game. Now, this bingo game is only available if you do purchase the um, if you do purchase a slide, just because it's a little too weighty for me to, give away for free. But once you do get the slide is only $1. So once the bingo game costs more than the slide. So once you do get the slide, you'll be able to purchase that. Just to make a note of a correction, because this is a recording, it's only $1 for the month that we are using the lesson. After that, it goes back to the regular price. So I just want you guys to make note of that. So this is the bingo game. I believe there are 25. Let me see. Oh, I actually did 30. So there are 30. Um, so you would just, again, I encourage you to laminate this, pass it out to your students, and then these are the calling cards that you would use for them to get bingo. All right, so that is how we would end the class before our goodbye song. So that is second grade, week one, focus on tie notes. Okay, let's move on to grade three, week one. The focus is 16th notes and also some review from second grade. Again, make sure you make a copy of this for yourself. I'm going to head on over to the slide deck so you can see what these look like. So third grade is when I no longer do hello songs and I now do a icebreaker activity. I know not everybody likes the word icebreaker, but essentially that's what it is. Whether it's a would you rather, this or that, something of that nature that kind of gets it breaks the ice. And it just gets students talking or interacting, whether it's verbally or non-verbally. That's something that I want you to note, is that interaction doesn't always have to be verbal. We could use signs like we do in the fill-in song, or for those in your class that do like to talk, you can do some verbal interactions with them as well. But this is so third, fourth, and fifth grade have the icebreaker, the think about it discussion. The one for this week is, would you rather play the piano or the drums? So you could ask them, maybe you could do like a signal. If they rather play the piano, you can have them throw up one, or play the drums, throw up two. You could even, would you rather play the piano? You could have them do this if they would rather play the piano, or do this if they would rather play the drums. And then, so that way everybody is participating in the think about it activity, right? And then you could now take it a step further, and those students who do want to express why they would rather play one instrument or the other, they'll be free to do so. And then again, still the same fill-in song. I think even in the upper grades especially, it's still important to gauge how they are feeling that day, because it will affect, their performance in the class. And then also just giving you a good way to keep an eye out on, students who may need a little bit more love in that class. All right. So after we have done the think about it and the check-in, then we do our rhythm review. Again, this is similar to the second grade slides. We've just added half notes and whole notes for third grade. And these are, I need to edit this as well. Let me do that now while actually, let me not do it now. But these are going to be, you can edit these. I just said, let me not do it now as I'm doing it now. Um, I'll do the other one later. But you can edit these slides as well to whatever terminology you use. So after you have reviewed some of the notation, then you can do the play along. Again, there's a playlist here of rhythms, of play alongs that you can use. And once you get this, you can just add the video in yourself. Now, the focus for third grade is 16th notes. So the song that they are going to be learning is Tidy-O. Pass one window, tidy-o. Pass two windows, tidy-o. All right. The kids, they love this song. I've never met a third grade class in my years of teaching that did not like this song. And they even asked me to, do it up until I see them in fifth grade. So this is a good one for 16th notes. There's a movement activity. It's a singing game. So there's movement activities that go with it. And once you grab the lesson plan, right here, I linked to a video of that movement activity. And then remember the focus is 16 notes, so you can now show them the sheet music and say, hey, what rhythm over here or what note over here looks different? And they should be able to say, this thing right here. And then you can now express to them that that is a 16th note and, teach them how to perform it. We have rhythms here. I don't know what just happened. We have rhythms here that they can practice using the 16th notes. And then we go to another rhythm play along. This rhythm play along includes 16th notes. So while the initial rhythm play along was just, rhythms that they learned in the previous year, this one is now going to be one that includes the one that they just learned, the 16th note. And then in third grade as well, they learned Sasha and they have a story time now. What I've done here is I've given you space to choose whatever story you want um, to read to your kids, because while I am giving you lesson plans that you can use as is, you are the teacher, you know your kids better. I do want you to infuse some of your own touch into these lesson plans. So this is a slide where you can add in your favorite story time for grade 3. And that is it for our third grade focus on 16th notes. Alrighty, moving on to our fourth grade week 1. The focus is our 8th note to 16th notes. I use Takadimi, so that would be Tadimi, or you can use Tika, whatever it is that you use. And then also the third grade review. Let me head on over to the deck. Don't forget to make a copy of this for yourself. I'll head on over to the deck. Again, it's the same think about it activity, think about it question as third grade. They do their fill-in song, and we have rhythm review. Now this review adds the 16 notes that they learned in third grade. And then the song for this grade is Diddle Diddle Dumpling. My son John went to bed with his stockings on. Love that song. All right, so they will learn this song. You can also do this as a passing game to practice the steady beat. I have linked to a YouTube video that I found that does this song as a passing game. For some reason, the sheet music did not load, so I will correct that so that once you guys access this slide, you will have that there. And then you just talk to them about Taadimi, and they'll be able to practice different rhythms with the new notation. They can say this, they can clap it, they can use rhythm sticks, body percussion, however you want them to get, the rhythm into their body, you can. Now, right after that, we are going to talk about ostinato because we do have an ostinato activity in the lesson plan. I should actually link it here as well, so I'll do that for you. I did link to um, a YouTube video. Everybody knows this YouTube video, and we love it. That just talks about ostinato. So you can play that if you have access to tech. You can play that, and there are four different ostinatos, ostinati that they can do. I did put a suggested instrument on the side, but you can, do whatever instrument or even body percussion, whatever you have, And then this slide has all of the groups performing their ostinato at the same time. Now, if it is too complex, this is fourth grade, beginning of the year, fourth grade. So if it is too complex for your students, just delete some slides and just only do one ostinato, do two ostinatos. Maybe you sing the melody, you sing the song while they do the ostinato, you reverse it, and then you can build up to having four at the same time. Um, and then right after that, they'll do some body percussion. So I have a link here to a playlist of videos. Again, you could just upload the video here. And then they will they'll create their own ostinato using these notes. So on the lesson plan, I do have a worksheet linked for you. Sorry, I should have already had this loaded up for you. You should always have these things loaded up in your class. learning Learning moment for us. So yeah, you could just print this out. They could create their rhythmic ostinato, and then they can also decide what instrument they want to use to perform their ostinato. You can have them go in groups and have other students perform their ostinato. Like there's so many, I want you to use your imagination. I'm giving you the resources, I'm giving you some tools, but use your imagination. You are an awesome teacher, and just make it do it in a way that's going to work for your students. So that is the ostinato. Another story time for you. Choose your song, and no goodbye songs for third, fourth, or fifth grade either. Just kick them out the door. I'm kidding. But send them off their way in, whichever way suits you best. All right, so those are the slides for fourth grade. Focus on our Tadimi notation. All right, and last but not least, we have our fifth grade, week 1, September. Their focus is the dotted quarter with the eighth notes and fourth grade review. So again, make sure, remember you have access to this inside the Facebook group. So go ahead and make a copy of the lesson plan. I'm going to walk us through the slide deck that is available for purchase. So we have the Think About It slide and the Fill In song. That is the same for third, fourth, and fifth grade. And we are going to review rhythms. Okay, so those are the rhythms that we can review. Remember, this is editable, so you can change it to whatever you see best. Now, the song for fifth grade is Al Citron, so you can teach them this song. I do have in the lesson plan a link to the song. just in case you do not know it. And this is a passing game activity. So you'll spend some time teaching the song, making sure they really have the song down pat before they add the passing game. Now this is the sheet music. So again, have them look at the sheet music. What over here is looks different to you guys, and they should be able to identify the dotted quarter notes and the eighth notes. And you just show that to them. And over here, you can write however you want to, identify this for them. And right after they have learned the new rhythm, you can now do some ear training with them where you clap one of these three rhythms and you have them identify which rhythm it is they are hearing. Okay? And then after that, they can have a little movement break. Again, the playlist is down here. You can add the video this way. And story time. Okay, so those are the activities for fifth grade. So as you can see, as the grades get as the grades increase, the activities decrease because you spend more time on activities. So with kindergarten and first grade, gauging this is about like a 40-minute class, right? So for kindergarten and first grade, I do about like 10 to 11 activities. For second and third grade, maybe about like 8 or 9. And then for fourth and fifth grade, about 6 and 7, five to seven activities, depending on the length of them. Okay. But like I said, feel free to add, feel free to take away. This is hopefully to give you a good foundation of how to begin your classes this week. So again, all of the lesson plans are free for you to make a copy of, to edit as you wish. Just to walk you through the lesson plan really quickly. So the first column is the lesson plan itself, so the activities that you're going to do. The second column is how you're going to transition from one activity to the next. You can use what I suggested, or you can type in your own transition. Transitions are key because a lot of behavioral issues happen during transitions between activities. So as much as you plan out your activities, it's important to also plan out how you're transitioning from one activity to the next. Now, the way I have listed my activities here is how I would do it in my class. But if you would switch activities around because you feel like you'll be able to transition better that way, then do that. Remember, transitional time is very important. It's critical to keeping your class moving and to keeping your students on task so that you don't have as many behavioral issues. Now, on the second half, I have assessment. So this is what you should be looking for. So you don't actually have to like grade this out, but okay, while they're singing this song, I'm just looking around and listening for who's singing, accurate pitch and et cetera, et cetera. So I give you some things that you can assess for each activity. And then on this last column is any additional notes, maybe links to YouTube videos or additional resources that you may be able to use. Okay, but during your class, it's really the first two columns that you're going to focus on. All right, so again, this is yours for free to save and edit as you like. If you do need that additional resource, you could go ahead and purchase the slide decks. That is it for September week 1. Bye.